Hey friends, it's Anne from Doubting Believer, and today we are going to talk about the lost parables. Now, they're not lost as in we can't find them or we've just recently found them, but they're all about lost things, lost people. And I'm just going to tell you the stories as I go today, but if you want to read them in the scriptures, go to Luke 15, read the entire chapter, and you can read all about the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son, which we often call the prodigal son. So, one of the things we want to remember when we talk about the parables is as much as we want to make these parables be about us, they're really about God. The parables are not about who we are. They're about who God is. Now, are there lessons we can learn from the parables on how we should be living our lives? Absolutely. But if we forget that the parables are about who God is and we try to make them be about who we are, they can get really confusing. Trust me, they make a lot more sense when we remember the parables are about who God is. So say with me and we'll watch that play out. So the first parable is parable of the lost sheep. Jesus is talking to some of the Pharisees and he says, there is a shepherd on the hill, he's got 100 sheep and one goes missing. Who among us would not leave the 99 to go look for the lost sheep? Who among us? I'm sure the Pharisees are thinking, none of us among us. That's just bad business. Who would leave your 99 sheep alone to be endangered by the wolves, the elements, whatever might befall them, to go after one? No, you stay with the 99 and you protect them and you maybe lament the loss of the one, but you can write him off because you've got to keep your 99. Yeah. Who among us wouldn't go after that one? None of us. None of us would, because we're not God. It's not a story about who we are. It's a story about who God is. God is always going to go after the lost sheep. And then the story continues, and when he finds the sheep, he's so excited that he has found this lost sheep that he calls all his neighbors and friends together, and they have a big party to celebrate that this one sheep has been found. And we hope the 99 are still safe as well. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, thanks be to God that God has come after me and found me when I am lost, that God will come after me and find me when I'm lost again. And then some of you are sitting back cozily thinking about how you're kind of in the 99 and maybe making a mental list of all the people you know who are that one lost sheep. And you're kind of ready for Jesus to go get them too. So here's the thing. The whole story, it's a trap. Because Jesus goes on to say to these Pharisees, I tell you, there is more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who returns than 99 righteous people who have no need of repentance. Yeah, did you hear that? Did you get that? The trap? There are no 99 people out there who are in no need of repentance. None of us are so righteous that we are never in need of repentance. So yeah, if we try to make this parable be about us, it doesn't track. This parable is about God and how God will always go after each of us. That God is always seeking to be in relationship with us, no matter where we go, whether we're with the 99 or we've wandered off on our own. And then this parable gets a little bit stranger with the coin, this lost coin. So this one's a short parable, and Jesus goes on to say, or if a woman who has 10 coins loses one, does she not light a candle and look in every nook and cranny and turn over every last thing until she finds it? And then when she does find her lost coin, she's so excited. She brings in her friends and neighbors and calls for a celebration. This sounds like the story of some, does everybody have kind of a wacky neighbor in your neighborhood, maybe a wacky relative that's always a little kooky and doing some kind of odd things, but you like them and they're fun, so you go along with it? Yeah, is God a kooky neighbor? Maybe that's what Jesus is trying to tell us. But you see how this parable doesn't make sense. Why is this woman, okay, you've lost a coin. Coins can be valuable. You need to find the coin, but calling in your neighbor to celebrate that you found the coin, you're going to throw a party over finding a lost coin, an inanimate object that didn't even know it was lost? But yeah, God is going to go after whatever is lost, anything that is lost. And when it is found, there's going to be a celebration. And then in the story of the prodigal son. Now the sheep are not known for being terribly bright animals, and there's no telling why the sheep wandered off from the fold. might have been lured off by something or someone, might have gotten lost, taken a wrong turn, whatever. The coin didn't even know it was lost. So certainly it's not its fault that it was lost. But we get to the prodigal son, and this is the story where there's a father and there's two brothers, and one of the brothers says, you know what, Dad, give me my inheritance now, and I'm leaving. I'm going out on my own. I'm ditching you people. And the father does it, gives him his part of the inheritance, and the young man goes off and he squanders it on women and wine, and he gets in such bad straits that he thinks, even at my father's house, I mean, I'm not going to get to be his son again, surely. But even his servants get treated better than this, at least if I go back and ask to be a servant, I would have a clean place to sleep and food to eat. But if I stay where I am, I'm going to die. So he goes back, and his father sees him coming from a long way away, and his father is so excited that he rushes out to greet him. And is so excited, he calls for everybody to gather together. Again, there's going to be a celebration. There's going to be a party. We're going to kill the fatted calf. My son who was gone has returned. There is much rejoicing. And of course, we all know the brother who stayed behind is really pretty irritated by this. I mean, his father's never thrown him a party, and here he has been toiling away on the farm all this time, while the younger brother or the other brother has squandered away his inheritance and now is being welcomed back with open arms. Because again, these parables are not about who we are, they're about who God is. What these parables told altogether confirm and affirm to us about God is that our actions do not determine God's actions. Yeah, whether we are the sheep who accidentally take a wrong turn and end up alone and afraid, whether we are a coin that gets tossed under the couch through no fault of our own, whether we are the prodigal who deliberately turns away from God, thinking that we can go it on our own, God always seeks to be in relationship with us and always welcomes us in and welcomes us back home. We live in a lost world, friends, but God never gives us up for gone. That is why God broke into human history in the form of Jesus Christ and continues to seek us out, to welcome us home, to love us, not because of who we are, but because of who God is. And if that's not worth celebrating, I don't know what is.